The desperation for food and the frustration at the airports has been a big driver to end the shutdown. And when it does end, people will get their SNAP benefits and airlines will get back on track. But there will still be a major piece of this story that might not be getting resolved, and that's health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. Let me put this as plainly as I possibly can. A lot of people in North Carolina face a crippling financial crisis because of this, and just about everybody will feel the ripple effects. Thanks to everybody who wrote into us about this topic. We've got a new email, by the way, that we are trying out here at 7 o'clock. It's aptly named 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. We got a great number of responses last night. Send us your questions, your feedback, and your stories. We got a really great one from a viewer named Cheryl. She wrote, "Our health insurance just went from $500 a month on the marketplace with a subsidy to $2,707 a month with no subsidy. For two people, I am in tears. I don't know what to do. $500 to $2,700. Cheryl is one of many people who get subsidized health insurance through Marketplace. She qualified because of a temporary subsidy created in 2021, part of a federal response to COVID. It expanded eligibility to more people, anyone earning more than 400% of the federal poverty level. That seems like a big number, but it's actually about $71,000 for a single person or $125,000 for a family of four. Today, there's an estimated 68,000 North Carolinians who get these subsidies to afford insurance through the ACA. That's 68,000 people in our state who will be forced to pay full freight if that enhanced subsidy expires.
This is a huge affordability issue for people on the Affordable Care Act marketplaces who maybe are making too much money to be eligible for Medicaid and are working a job that doesn't offer health benefits. This is a group of people who have typically fallen through the cracks in the American healthcare system.
And that group has gotten bigger and bigger over the years. 357,000 people enrolled in ACA Marketplace in 2014. Today, that number is nearly 1 million. I spoke with a soybean farmer in Wayne County about her situation. We first met Lorenda Overman a few weeks back to talk about how the trade war with China has affected the soybean industry. After watching her soybean sales go down, she's now looking at her health insurance premium going up. She's used the ACA for the past decade because really it was her only option. She didn't have enough employees to qualify for health insurance that way, so she went to private health insurance. But the cost was higher than her salary, so she turned to the ACA. But without the federal subsidy, that premium will rise to a crippling $2,000 a month.
If the subsidy goes away and you wind up having to be on the hook for $2,000 a month in your premium, what would that do to you?
It would hurt. It would hurt bad. I don't know what we would do.
Now, let's be clear. There are a lot of people who want to see these subsidies end, including a viewer named Kyle. He emailed 7 p.m. at WRAL.com, writing, "Because of Obamacare, health insurance is unaffordable. Hopefully, without these subsidies, these greedy insurance companies will lower their costs where it can be affordable." Kyle, I looked into that because I think all of us can really agree that we want to see insurance companies lower their prices. But unfortunately, ending the subsidies is only expected to make insurance premiums higher for everyone. You see, back in July, the North Carolina Department of Insurance said health insurers are requesting rate increases in part because of the end of enhanced subsidies. The July bulletin said the expiration of these subsidies will make it more difficult for people to afford their premiums, and it's anticipated that many people will become uninsured. As a result, more healthy and younger people are expected to drop their coverages, leaving the pool more costly.
We're seeing that already with folks that we help. People are choosing to not select a plan on the marketplace because the premium increases are too higher, or too high this year is what they're telling us.
All that said, we should mention some other arguments for ending the subsidies. Earlier this year, the Congressional Budget Office found extending the subsidies would add $350 billion to the deficit. The Cato Institute, a conservative think tank, argues that temporary emergency measures should be temporary, writing Congress should resist the natural inclination to let temporary crises permanently expand the size and scope of government. You might agree with that the subsidies should be temporary, that we shouldn't add to the deficit. Or you might support extending the subsidies, that we should spend the money on health care. That'll be the question in front of the Senate in December, when they're scheduled to take a vote on this, separate from the larger budget and the shutdown. And people like Cheryl, Lorenda, and Kyle, they'll all be watching.